I'm Seamus. Thank you so much for coming.
You've got a great cause worth fighting for. I couldn't wait to get here. That said, I expected, well, more people?
So far, there's only the two of us.
But we're highly motivated.
Well, it's a start.
Some people I knew already were dear friends of mine, like little gray cells and just my stupid opinion.
Lots of interesting things. This is absolutely abominable, and the RCMP are really in the shit here, and they know it.
Hi, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but I think it's time that I needed to speak up.
The following program is brought to you in living color.
Something you watch on TV, horror movie, you shut it off a good bit. We can't shut this off. Every time we close our eyes, the horror movie turns on. So I know for myself, when I close my eyes to go try to go to bed, I picture my parents being shot.
Trying to piece together a story that seems so unbelievable.
Let's have a look at this. I'm going to pause it periodically, and I'm going to try and not lose my shit because I was really angry. Really angry. I'm getting really pissed now. I'll preface this by saying I'm strongly urging all of the victims in this, the victims' families, to launch a class action lawsuit against the RCMP. And I would just love to have the RCMP under discovery. I have a lot of questions, and I'm sure a lawyer would too.
Mounted police and their stories. Stories of their courage. Stories of their lives filled with hazard, romance, and adventure. The RCMP story this week, Gunslinger.
Oh my goodness, how many windows do I have open? Oh my goodness. How's everybody doing today? A little bit, eh? All right, so Jenga. Have a little guest with us today, too. Howdy.
Howdy.
You got audio?
You? Can you hear me?
I think so. Do you have a shower, too?
I was ready to fucking go when you called me. You caught me when I was just getting out of the shower.
Oh. Okay, I won't touch that one.
So.
Now. Yeah, my girlfriend might get a little mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying to you on the phone there when I asked if you wouldn't mind joining me and giving your thoughts on some of this, that you were going to get pretty mad about my puppy training.
Yeah, no. You know what, you're trying. You're doing a good job, and you love her, and you'll figure it out. The key is you're working on it, right? It's different if you're not working on it. You guys are doing good. She's cute. She's sweet.
She is. and she's good company. And you've been a really big help.
She's so cute. She looks like a tiny little deer. She's just adorable.
Well, she looks like a rat. Like
No, she doesn't look like a rat.
The tail is like rat.
The tail, yeah, okay.
I don't understand the tail. For those of you who don't know, Tara trains dogs, amongst other things. So I'm always phoning her and a couple of other people for advice. And because I seem to forget. I forget. I had to put down my old guy last week. And it's weird. I don't remember 18 years ago and all of the peeing on floors and laundry. Anyway.
I feel like you were probably out and about more often 18 years ago, and T probably had more opportunities to pee outside.
Yes, well, there is definitely, I do hope that he's in a better place. It's kind of sad to see him, like very sad to see him go, but there is a lot less pee in the house. I will say that. The house is smelling better. There's still pee because now I'm getting pee from this. So anyways, I don't know. You guys, I thought of the name of Neve. You don't like the name.
It's not my dog. You call your dog whatever you like.
I wonder if people in the chat know how to spell Neve. I told you how to spell it. Do you know how to spell Neve? Well, I asked you how to spell it, and then you're like, no, we didn't get very far on that one.
I'm not sure. Is it Neave?
No. Anybody in the chat know? Better say hello to everybody here too. All right.
I can't follow the chat and have a conversation, so I'm not trying to ignore anyone. I can't watch it. I can't.
I'll try. I can't even watch it on my own, but I'll try and do for both of us. How's that? So we've got Just Say Up Yours. We've got Blue Nose. Blue Nose.
Really, there should be a t-shirt that says that. Just Say Up Yours.
It's a great name. Yeah.
It is. Let me see. I should probably do this part.
Have a talk. Sorry?
Okay, I can see who's here. I won't be able to follow what's going on, but with the chat.
We got Mossad Recruitment Department is the new name.
Oh, my favorite.
Yes. Alex McLean, Countryside, Nikki Lewis. I got Blue Nose again. Blue Nose. Good old Blue Nose. Dave.
Sorry, I'm looking at the people trying to spell your dog's name.
She likes to lick my hair. Brickleberry. She chews on it too. Glenn B. How's it going, Glenn? Todd Flanders. Christiana from Bagel Land. Nosy Scotian. Michael Penny says that scumbag. Well, wow, okay. Crystal Edwards. Mark Evans. Nice to see a new stream. Nice to see you, Mark. Nice to see everybody always. Did you guys both get out of the shower? Yeah, in different parts of the country. Yeah, my girlfriend's watching. No, nothing funny going on here. Kosher squirrel says Todd. Are you a kosher squirrel? Bush baby, Julia Rock. You have 2 shepherds. Aw. Binks, we've got Binks. Greetings from Nova Scotia. KL. Thank you for your condolences. I appreciate that. Oh, wow. Bink, first person who spells it correctly.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Nave. Reminds me of Nev Shalomon from Catfish, says Apple. Neve. Neve. Nev. Okay, well, we got some spellings here. Irish version. There you go. That's right. Nave.
What is it? Oh.
Nave. My dog's name is Fugly. Poor Fugly. I wanted to call our dog Kitty. That's just, I think that ranks up there with some of this confusion stuff that goes on. Dysphoria.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
So anyway, Miguel. Bickleberry's dog is named Miguel, who wants a free flip phone and a vest. Oh.
I had a dream that I was talking on a flip phone in my dream, and it was a weird phone call. I don't remember the phone call. I just remember thinking, why am I on a flip phone?
Flip phones are going to go the way of the dodo. They're already getting rid of those networks.
Did I tell? Oh, never mind. Nope, I did tell you.
What?
When I was on the phone today talking about something popped up. It was a video that said you're going to be monitored if you're on the phone talking about this. And I was like, oh my God,
yes,
I'm on the phone talking about this right now.
Well, they allow certain things to get through now, but we'll stay away from that topic.
Yeah.
We've got Trish Lunn down by the bay.
No.
Sorry?
I'm just watching I'm not watching the chat. Sorry, I'm having one of those days.
You having a day? Have you been having a day? How's your days lately?
They're okay. They're I'm finding things are confusing. It's just things are confusing, it's a lot of, I don't know. I just did my makeup, so don't ask me how my days go.
Okay. It's one of those days. Well, you got lots of people who love you, so we're all here.
Well, I don't know if I told you, but I found a receipt from April the 18th, 2020. So at like 5 o'clock on the night that it happened, the evening before everything started, I was at the Home Hardware buying a fishing line. I found that. It was at like 5:23 in the evening. It was like the last thing I did before this happened. I don't know why it hit me, but it just was interesting that it was that same day, hours before, Anyway, moving on.
Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you.
No, it's okay. It's not you. Thank you. You're always considerate and ask. Thank you.
A lot of people ask how you're doing, and they really genuinely care. And
the people that we have been fortunate to meet through this, I don't know how. I do know I would have not been able to do this without you guys. My God, you of all people. If you weren't here, there would be nowhere for all of us to be.
Okay, enough.
You made me cry, so I'm going to make you uncomfortable.
No, I'll leave the stream. Listen, I got fingers to be chewed on, so I got important things to do.
Those little baby teeth are like razor blades, too.
They are. I got like cuts all up and down my arm. I don't want to tell her no. She doesn't understand.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
See, this is why I get a kick out of it, but this is why you are a person who needs a little dog. Because despite what people think, you are a softie who doesn't like to say no and doesn't want to hurt people's feelings or dogs' feelings. And you're so considerate.
You're destroying my image here.
I know. You're doing it with, you got a min pin. You destroyed your own image.
Yes, people always have laughed at me for many years. Well, close friends of mine, they think it's quite ironic. Anyway.
Well, and it is ironic. The funny thing about it is that I have been training dogs since I was little. And as a professional trainer since I was 20. And while I was training, and I still do, and I see it all the time, and I roll my eyes and I shake my head. But you can tell some of the people who get dogs like pit bulls and Rottweilers, and they don't train them and they let them pull on the leash and they act like idiots, and you just know that they're compensating for other things. And when you see a guy who comes up like yourself, kind of gruff and whatnot, with a little dog, you just know there's no need for that. You can just see that it shows that you have a kind heart instead of just a problem with your ego.
Moving along.
There you go.
All right, we got point fire. I know I should say thank you to those things. It just makes me feel so weird. Yes. We've got Casey and Finnegan. Okay, Casey and Finnegan, Julia Rock's dogs.
I love those names. I love those names.
I remember that show. It was a good show.
It was a good show.
I spent a lot of time remembering things about when we were younger, you know? I like talking about those times. They were good times.
They were good times when you could just, Mr. Dress Up Tickle Trunk, you could just get dressed up like whatever you want and have a fun time. And it didn't seem like people were trying to push narratives on you. I'm sure they were, but it was a lot less blatant than it is now.
Canine dysphoria, says Binks. Or is it canine or is it feline? I don't know. I could see it either way, right? We've got Cheryl Clark in here. The phone will work with the Internet of Things, which will surveil all things. Yeah, I like watching a lot of different things, but privacy was something I used to cover one point in time. How is the volume on the phone? Says KLM. Tara?
Is everything? Can you guys hear me okay? It sounds fine to me, but let me know if people can't hear me. That's usually not a problem with me.
I'm not sure what they're referring to. I believe it's a she. Maybe she can elaborate. Cool. Okay. Have I said hello to everybody yet? Does Seamus know there's a rat in his lap? Yes, I do. Little dogs are the best. Chew toys. Risking mail. Oh, you're taking away my mail card, says Glenn. Are you taking away my mail card, Tara?
No, definitely not. I'm enhancing it. I'm saying that it makes you more of a man, that you're comfortable having a small dog. You don't have to prove that you're a man. It just is.
I know some people look twice. They're like,
well, I don't doubt it. When I lived up, funny enough, I lived up in Boston Bar, which is like a 15-minute drive from Lytton, where all the fires just happened. So sad. But I had a friend, and her husband was this gigantic, huge, tough, like biker-looking guy. And I can't remember now if they had a toy poodle or min pins, but it was the funniest thing to see this gigantic, rough biker guy going with this little dog. But he was the nicest man and a good dad and a good husband. Like, he didn't need a big fucking dog to show off.
Oh. Okay. Somebody said something about presents. I don't like presents. Cards. I like cards. That's what I generally get. I like cards. Rotty. Somebody's talking about their Rotty mix is named Chevy Dale. Chevy Dale? Am I supposed to? Do you know that name? Chevy Dale?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Tara is audible. Okay, wow, now you're chewing hair. I'm getting lost here. What's going on here? Amsel Bauer taking over the Bank of England today in history. Interesting. Rescues Just find my volume disappearing in some calls. Weird. Had to go to speakerphone to hear calls. Nova Scotia citizen. Sunday. And we've got Becca. And all right. Okay. I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't like putting her in the kennel. I tried that last night, and I did what you said, and she wasn't happy. That made me unhappy. So
I get a lot of entertainment value out of listening to you train your dog. I love it. It's funny. She wasn't happy, Cindy. So I let it out.
And LB. All right. So there was some big news. Thank you to the person who sent that. They're in here. I very much appreciate right away. I think it was 2 minutes after it came on Twitter. I was like, boom. Wow.
I'm going to be right back.
Okay. So I've been having put a towel. I think I got to go buy another one because another kennel, because I think the one I have is too big. I hear it's small is supposed to be the key. 3 computers go down, gave up, used multiple devices. I can't load Twitter. I can't get into my Twitter account for some reason. I found that interesting today. Now she knows if she acts unhappy, she gets what she wants.
That's right. Whoever said that's right. Who was that? Now
Apple
she knows
Capital.
if she doesn't like it. There you go. Amen, girl. Yep. Now she knows that if she doesn't like it, you'll let her out. So she training you, buddy.
I didn't let her out, but I did come upstairs. I didn't let her.
You just left her? You left her?
I came upstairs, tried to calm her down for a while, and then she did calm down, so that was good.
Oh.
Then I was like worried that she was dead or something because I didn't hear anything anymore. Then I'm scared to go up there because if I do, I know she'll start barking right away. Well, she doesn't really bark, actually. She just kind of yips. My friend came over last night and he was coughing and she started barking at him because he was coughing. I don't know. Strange things, trip dogs. Okay, so thank you very, very much to the person who let me know that right away. And we're very fortunate to have Tara because I want to get her reaction. I think we'll go through, and I was on the phone right away. I know I messaged you, slept in the crate. I didn't sleep in the crate. I can't fit in there. It's big, but it's not that big. So I messaged you right away and you came back with maybe we'll show that. And it was right away. So this is very early on, and Global, of course, writes about it because they see. Let's see. I don't think. You have some foul language, you know. Stop sending me those nasty words.
I know. I've been told.
I like that.
I'm okay with it.
So there be no conflict. 8:41.
Yeah. It's funny because I was on the phone when I got that, and I was getting like the person I was on with was sending me stuff, and I had shit flying at me, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then it was ridiculous. You go ahead, and I can't believe it. I would love to apply these principles to other industries. Like, let's say I'm an investment banker. Let's say I commit fraud. I steal from my customers, my people. I make millions of dollars. They're about to find out what I know, and I retire. So, I don't have to worry about it now. You just go and you have a nice day, and don't worry. I love it. I think it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Well,
see, this is the way that things are done. was having, when I was in the shower, I was thinking about different things, because before I had messaged you, I was on the phone with somebody who helps us a lot in the background, and I was thinking about the different tactics that things are done. So, it on the surface, it appears great, right? But if you look at certain things like the Arlene Westerfeld case, or other things, people will leave and then they don't face consequences for their actions. And in the case of the upcoming, and I want that to be really clear, the commission, I don't think that this actually follows the parameters. I discussed that before, 3 acts that they're going to start using so that they don't have to disclose any information. I don't actually think this follows legally, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go to my lawyers and ask them, the Inquiries Act, because if we look at the Desmond inquiry, it's called an inquiry. Everything is referred to as an inquiry, where this is referred to as a commission. So I think we've gone from review to commission. So it's just kind of like, we'll do what we need to kind of just go away there, type thing. So Arlene Westerfeld, case is really a clear example of an RCMP officer who may have been up to some shenanigans and just kind of leaves the force, and nothing's going to happen there. But I'm really glad to see. Sorry, scary quotes.
Well, that's right. You just retire and you no longer have to face any consequences. It's wonderful. Possibly is one strategy in there, and equally is the fact of, once then they're a civilian, can she make the claim that, well, I don't know anything, I don't have access to anything, I'm no longer in charge of anything? What does her role then as a civilian mean? So I thought we could go through the article together of let's see here. Why is that all fuzzy? Weird. Okay, I guess it's not fuzzy now. Yeah, hide. Nova Scotia's top RCMP officer retiring days before public hearings into killing spree set to begin. Very interesting, the timing, right? The timing, everything.
I wonder if I should read it like this. Does that help if I... Lee Bergerman likes to do that. In her only public appearances. It's very, very far away. I actually have a couple of things lined up, because Lee Bergerman is not new. We've been talking about Lee Bergerman.
You've been talking about Lee Bergerman for such a long time. And it's interesting that she was just recently mentioned, and then now she's out.
Well, you don't know, and it's nothing about like who's first. I don't really care about that. If it gets out, that's good. But I do think that there's some really good information that comes out here as a result of many people doing work, and so even though it's a different style of doing things, information's been around for a long time, and there are some really good people that help on board.
The people that we have, the people out front and in the background, we couldn't do this without everybody. That's it. We couldn't do this. Absolutely. And we couldn't do this without this for a platform and I, without you and I putting this together and you doing all the shows and in the background, everybody who's a part of this is the only reason 15 months later we're still able to do it and still making. It feels sometimes like we're not making a difference, but we are. I know we are. We have to be.
Interesting timing. I like the word interesting. I always use the word interesting. Isn't that interesting? And coincidental. It was a remarkable coincidence. I need the CBC. Maybe you can talk for a minute. I'll see if I can find the remarkable coincidence clip, because it's really it's appropriate.
There's just so many coincidences. You can't even keep, if you were to keep track of them, you can have a show of just things that you're like, that timing is interesting. I mean, you don't want me to talk because I'm going to go off on other things, and
okay, well, that's
timing
fine.
is interesting.
I've got it. Let's see here. Where is that in here? And then a remarkable coincidence. Where is it? There's a few times they've used it for sure in the media.
Police have said they killed the suspect here at this gas.
Reports of the suspect down at the Enfield Big Stop.
Police have said they shot and killed the suspect here at this gas station Sunday morning. What they aren't saying is that it was only by chance. Police had tweeted Gabriel Wortman was no longer driving a police cruiser, but now a silver SUV. In fact, he had stolen another car from one of his victims, Gina Goulet. It was low on gas, and then a remarkable coincidence.
A remarkable coincidence. Remarkable. It's just,
that is remarkable. That is beyond all comprehension.
It's a remarkable coincidence. 3 gas stations. They just happen to know, he needs gas. That Gina Goulet.
Now, Seamus, that was cleared up already, because apparently Gina Goulet was notorious for running her car on fumes. I guess it was a big deal and everyone in the area knew. Isn't that what it said in the paper?
Right, of course, because they knew that her car would be taken.
That's right. And low on gas.
And low on gas. Yeah. And that he would go to 3. I mean, it's got to come out. 3 gas stations. There's 3 gas stations involved here. Well, not that I'm saying necessarily that he went to 3, but we know that they went to 3. They went to the Esso, they went to the Petro in Elmsdale, and then they went on to the Big Stop. So, come on, it's not a remarkable coincidence.
It's not. It's not. And it's also interesting that if she was notorious for running her car low on gas, then why would he take her car in the first place? Everybody knew she ran it low on gas. He would have to assume she was almost out.
Apparently, there was also a gas can that was recovered there. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, moving along. Got to stick with my ADD. I'm sorry, or something. I don't actually know if I have ADD, but probably. The RCMP's top commanding officer in Nova Scotia will retire less than 3 weeks before public hearings into the deadliest killing spree in modern Canadian history are set to begin. But remarkable coincidence. Assistant Commissioner Lee Bergerman announced her decision to retire internally to the Nova Scotia RCMP. Internally. A spokesperson for the Force told Global News on Tuesday. No public announcement. I know when I got the message right away, I was searching on the internet for the actual announcement. Of course, there was nothing. No public announcement. Tim Bousquet, I believe, is the first person who dropped that. No public announcement was made either by the Mounties or Bergerman. Her retirement takes effect October 8th, and public hearings are into the killing spree that left 23 people dead begin October 26th by
something
remarkable
else. Wow.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Quote, Assistant Commissioner Bergerman has served 35 years in the RCMP, and she's led the division for the last 2.5 years. She's going to be retiring. RCMP spokesperson Chris Marshall. Well, it's I guess almost 2.5 years, almost 35 years. I guess we're just rounding. I mean, you get a nice cushy job like the head of Nova Scotia RCMP, and I don't know, you retire. Bergerman led the RCMP's first public briefing into the killing spree hours after it ended April 19th and 20th. She provided details about the death of RCMP Constable Heidi Stevenson. Well, that was definitely, we got a lot of that. Family member, Heidi Stevenson, our family. And injuries sustained by another officer, Chad Morrison. And, yeah, some other people. Quote, today is a devastating day for Nova Scotia and will remain etched on the minds of many for years to come. What has unfolded overnight and into this morning is incomprehensible, Bergerman said on April 19th, 2020. She did not provide any information about how many others were killed or any context about the killings. But you definitely heard about this. That was a red flag, big red flag. The RCMP has faced intense criticism for its response to the shooting spree and its handling of the investigation. A public inquiry, I don't know about this one. I think we better start calling it what it is. The, quote, commission, like the review now commission, not necessarily an inquiry, but those who are maybe more learned. And I'd have to consult with a lawyer, but I don't think it's actually falling under the Inquiries Act per se, but maybe, is tasked with investigating how the RCMP responded to the shootings, which began April 18th, 2020 in Portapique. The inquiry, the commission will also consider the RCMP communication with the public and families of victims. Marshall said, he can't say whether Bergerman will participate in the inquiry. Quote, the inquiry is an independent process that's not related to us, he said. Whether she would be called as a witness, that would be up to the inquiry and not the RCMP. This is a developing story. More to come. Mass Cover-Up Commission? Yeah, that's a good name. I haven't even gone into any of that. There's so much. I'm very, very far behind. So I wanted to get your feel, Tara, for how you feel about this. Being that obviously this affects you directly and her possible not testifying.
I'm supposed to think that this is going to help us. I don't have any faith in it, in the inquiry or the commission. I don't think it's going to do anything. I don't know. It's, how can you not be held accountable for what happened when you were in charge? Whether you retire or not, you should be held accountable for what happened under your watch. Well, I mean, I don't know. I go to like the Operation Paperclip, all these people who weren't held accountable for the shit they did when they were following orders. I don't know. It makes my head spin around because the logic behind it doesn't make sense. I mean, if that's the way that we do things, like I said, you and I, we need to start a foundation so we can launder money, and we need to just do work for the government so that when we do bad things and we don't want to be held accountable, we can retire. It seems like a fucking no-brainer.
It does, you know, and I do see she was on the clock and the payroll at the time of it happening, which is exactly what I said, you know, but she is now considered would be now considered a civilian. Where did I say? But it was oh, but there was conflict, and there is. You know,
Are you ever a civilian though? Like I know somebody who is a retired staff sergeant, and they still have a badge that says retired. You know what I mean? Like you don't stop being an RCMP because you're retired. You don't stop identifying yourself at, you say I'm retired RCMP, which means I did it. I did my job. Like you don't stop. Do you? Why would you have a badge that says retired on it if you stop? You're not a civilian.
What is it? What is it encased in? I forget. They get the paperweight badge. It's encased in big block of plastic. I forget what you call it.
But they also get a badge. Like I've seen the one that they hold in their wallet, and it's a badge. They can
They're not
pull it
supposed
out
to
in
have
their
that.
wallet.
They're not supposed to have that.
Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But yeah, I've seen that I've seen that.
There's interesting rules with the RCMP. Like, I don't believe they have to have a PAL either.
That would be actually, here's a little tidbit of something I didn't know. There is an RCMP officer in a small town that's local, and that person has had their license taken away because they drink and drive all the time. When they are on duty with the RCMP, they drive a car. How does that work?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't claim to know the ins and outs of anything.
But really? Are you kidding me? You lost your license for drinking and driving, and now you can be a RCMP driving a car. How does that work?
Maybe it's kind of like the PAL. You don't need the license to drive because you've already kind of got the approval from the RCMP. I don't know. I don't know any of the specifics of what you're speaking about, but possibly that's it. Blow box in the cockpit.
It doesn't.
Blow box in the cockpit. That would be funny. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? Haven't talked to her in a little bit. I haven't talked to anybody.
Sharon, I haven't either. I was just thinking about her. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not watching the chat. Otherwise, I get too distracted. I was always raised to believe that the RCMP and other police departments should be held to a higher standard, not given a pass to do things that other of us aren't allowed to do.
I don't know. It's
like
fuzzy.
I always feel like if somebody's telling me to do something, I should be able to look at them and be assured that they themselves are doing. You know what I mean? You don't go to a doctor that weighs 500 pounds and have him give you diet advice on how to be healthy. Right? Unless you're doing it, you shouldn't really be telling me what to do. Well, how do they say that? Unless your house is clean, like don't worry about mine. I don't know what, you know what I mean though.
My side of the street.
The police.
Well, I know that my side of the street saying, so I know.
Yeah.
Somebody in here, definitely at least one person in here knows what that refers to, but we got to keep our sides of the street. So I thought maybe I have replayed that. There's at least 2 occasions where I went on about Bergerman quite a bit, and I did talk about even more. What was it? What was the video? Back to the West Coast. And there's quite a bit in there about the other connections that Bergerman has, but I thought maybe we could watch this together if you don't mind. Though people who live in Black houses, I don't know if I've got it queued up. Yeah. I don't know if I've got this queued up properly. Let's see here. So this is back from, oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Oh, that's the wrong one. Where did I have it here? thought I had it lined up. August 15th is one time. I think I talked about it back in July 2020 as also. So let's see here. So this is August 15th, 2020. If we go on to husband, let's try husband. Mike. Okay, here we go. That's his first name. Are they going to give you his last name? I already knew by this point, but I was okay. Let's do it this way. Let's just do Mike Butcher. RCMP. Oh, balls on your face.
I need more water. I'll be right back.
Mike Butcher. Oh, what is his job? Senior disclosure analyst. Oh, and so much more. What are we having problems with in the courtrooms right now? Would it have something to do with redacted warrants? They haven't updated his, I don't believe he's working out of BC, E Division. No, they haven't updated it. I think he is actually currently down in Nova Scotia. Because if you look for Mike Butcher, right here, Nova Scotia government website, right? I think that's kind of should be something that possibly is believed. Assistant Commissioner, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Oh. Oh. He has the same mailing address. He's out in BC. And of course, the mailing address, A. Garland, is RCMP headquarters. In Dartmouth. Strange. I don't think he needs a mailing address in Nova Scotia, does he? He's a civilian employee, from what I can understand. Of course, this is the way it works. You get these, I don't know if he actually ever served. Did we get that from the, he did serve, but you know, like, it's just kind of like these old things. There's lots of good stuff if you go back in time. And I went in, there's probably quite a bit more in there, and there's definitely a different one. And I also went into Bergerman's family a lot more, because then it starts to get really kind of, it goes quite broad. If you go into Roy Bergerman and Mike Bergerman, Superintendent Mike Bergerman. I was going to say,
now, what Mike Bergerman was, who was he to her?
That's it, her brother. I don't want to dox her family. Like, that's not what it, and that's not what it's about, right? If we watch this obituary, Dorian Alma Bergerman, 28th of December to March 7, 2014, known as Dodie, died in Surrey, age 90. Dorian was predeceased by Molly. Dorian is survived by children. Mike, married to Karen, Marlene, Louis, Jane, Roy and Nora, Lorianne, Mark, Dawn, Leona, Mike, Dawn and Luann, as well as 25 grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Okay, born in Vancouver. We'll just kind of, not to diminish who this person is, but we'll just move along. And again, I'm not trying to dox people here. Dodie had the opportunity to visit her children in their far-flung postings around the country and was able to visit all 3 oceans that surround us. Can you talk about what we talked about with Nancy? Ouch. I don't. Oh. Right. Can you send me a link to that? Is that possible? I don't know how you can do that. Can you send that to me on the docs cord? Is that possible, Linda? I definitely will talk about it. Nancy, for those of you who don't know, right? Around the country, visit all 3 oceans that surround us. Haven't been through tough times, boundlessly optimistic. Life and good times she shared with friends and family. Now, who are some of the people that's listed on there? Without doxing, because I don't want to, but we have Mike and Karen. Okay. We have Roy and Nora. And we have Leona and Mike. Some of those names may sound familiar, some of them may not.
Leona, like Lee.
Leona Berg, right? Sorry?
Yeah. Leona as in Lee.
Yeah. Now,
if I remember correctly, that was confirmed based on information that they lived. Who was it? One of them. She was, I guess, posted up in the Yukon or somewhere like that. And am I remembering correctly that that's who that was?
oh, you're thinking of Jean Sarson.
Oh, my apologies. Yeah, you're right.
Cohort.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, there's a variety of supportive evidence that I use to, but it's postings. Postings a very key word in that. Postings is only in reference to RCMP. I can just do it this way. Can't we? But this all goes back to all of that other stuff. That story very early on that we spoke about with reference to Catherine Galliford.
Yes.
Why is this so small? I can hardly see. At least in the case of Mike Bergerman.
Yeah, that's quite the little connection, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. 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 I don't know.
I don't understand any other job that you can be charged with.
Bergerman, RCMP. These are the members that are listed in RCMP graves. We have a Bergerman assistant commissioner, Bergerman superintendent, Bergerman sergeant. That's Roy, Mike, and few Bergermans. there's other Bergermans in here. Whether they're related, I'm not exactly sure. I believe there are more, but let's just have a look at those three. Are interesting kind of people. What we know kind of ties a little bit into what I was saying earlier. BC Mountie sues force for harassment. Warning, this story contains graphic details. 2012, May 9th. CBC News has learned that high-profile Mountie, who first spoke out against sexual harassment in the National Police Force, is suing her employer, alleging years of persistent, ongoing sexual harassment and bullying. In a notice obtained by CBC News Wednesday, Corporal Catherine Galliford alleges that she was sexually assaulted, harassed, bullied on her 16 years on the force. The notice names Canada's Attorney General, BC's Justice Minister, 3 Mounties, a civilian RCMP doctor, and Vancouver police officer. Galliford was the face of BC RCMP for years. Charges had been laid in the Air India bombing and announcing the arrest of Robert Picton. Excuse me. According to a 26-page statement, the abuse began before Galliford was sworn in as an RCMP member. She alleges that then RCMP Inspector Mike Bergerman groped and tried to kiss her in 1991 when she was in the RCMP training camp. Any relation? I don't know. I'm getting the feeling that certain people don't like me looking at the people who are supposedly supposed to be investigating this. I'm looking at why we're not getting the investigation done. I think it's probably very good to look at the conflicts of interest and things. I'm not the investigators that are trained. What about the trained investigators that are trained and should be investigating? Looking at them, probably okay. I'm hearing something here in the chat, though, that says don't look there. Possibly.
Mhm.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Going on.
Just laying it out there.
Yeah, no, they definitely don't like
Bergerman's misconduct was willful, and he acted with the intent of sexual gratification, which shocked and sexually humiliated Galliford and demeaned her value as an RCMP officer and a human being, the document reads. Galliford did not officially report the misconduct. Not totally uncommon, right? Especially given we're going back in time. This is prior to all the Me Too stuff. Please say your prayers for Nancy and her family, Linda. And yes, I'm not going to say any other names. I'll leave it there. Just please say prayers. Culture of sexual harassment. The document goes on, which is probably a good lead in again, because we do try to take care of our family, right? And I know that Nancy's, we've tried to promote, taking care of one another, which I think is important. Yeah. So I'm just going to throw
Everyone
that.
struggles.
Sorry?
Everyone struggles. We all need to help each other when that happens.
Yes. Why is it? Oh, here we go. I just want to put that link out there for everybody. My sticky notes are all over my wall, but I tend to forget, even though it's right there in front of me.
Oh my God, Apple Capital just said something, and I just watched another video where it wasn't Catherine Galliford, it was a different officer, and that was the same thing that happened. So this person was sent to see an RCMP doctor, psychologist, whatever this person was supposed to be, and it wasn't even the real person. When she finally got introduced to the real person, they had never met each other.
Is that Weber? Are they referring to Weber? Dr. Weber?
I don't know.
Is that where she was supposed to be sent?
I don't know who. I don't know. Apple.
Sorry?
Apple Capital just said that. Yeah, I saw that not long ago, and it wasn't even Catherine Galliford. So that seems like a thing that happens.
Okay, now I'm curious. I don't.
So what she's saying is that the doc, if I understand correctly, and I might not, the doctor the RCMP sent her to wasn't a real doctor. So all the stuff that she would have told him that was personal and confidential, he wasn't a real doctor. His name is real. In the story that I saw, the guy's name was real. If you look him up, you will say, yeah, he's a real doctor. He's got all these credentials and so on and so forth. But when she went to the meeting, the doctor who she met with wasn't the guy. And I forget what the story was, that she found out it wasn't the real guy. And then the camera people, the news, whoever it was that helped her find this connection, introduced her to the real doctor who she was supposed to have been seeing, and they'd never met.
Is it possible you can send me an email about that? You posted
I can
link.
try to.
Man,
Kimberly Carteret?
Dr. Ron Frey. Okay. I don't think I know this component to the story. Wow. Ron Frey. I was thinking of good old Weber. Frey testified that she phoned Campbell River. Maureen Frey. Ron Frey. I don't. Sadly, I don't think I know this, and I'm feeling very out of water right now. I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. CBC did a story on it.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll send you a message in Twitter with the link. Okay, I appreciate that. Sorry.
You can't get into your Twitter.
Oh, yes. Let's see if I can now. No. Here, I'll show you. It's crazy. Crazy. For some reason, Twitter doesn't work.
Well, what happens if there's a mass shooting? How are you going to know? Twitter's not working.
What's going on here? If I try to open up Twitter for some reason, I don't know. Twitter doesn't open. See, and then it'll just reset. My Twitter account won't open. But I don't even get anything. Like, I can open my other Twitter account but this one doesn't work. I don't understand. Maybe it's something with the browser. It's very strange. That's why I wasn't able to post the video link in there. Okay, so how do I get that then? I think I can get it on my phone, maybe. You spend 12 hours a day, Nova Scotia RCMP Twitter feed, just in case. Well, at least you'll know if there's an upcoming event in cars half an hour out of the range and in the wrong car, and it's always good to know. Or if there's cats rolling around on the ground.
I love cats.
It's nsinvestigators at gmail.com. I believe the link is in the description. Or I've been banned. Do you get that if you're banned? I've been banned before, but, or should I say that? I don't know.
I've been banned before, and they usually will give you a message that says you can't play this game anymore. We don't like you. Go home.
Yeah.
You'll usually get a message.
I've never had it where I can't load the page. This is bizarre. I don't know. Anyway, tech fun, more tech fun for sure. Okay, so, well, all right, now maybe whilst we're waiting for that, I can go back to.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take you off track. I didn't know.
Did.
I know.
Damn you. You dammies. You just emailed it. Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say it's not Weber because Weber's a good guy. If we can, anybody has any way that they can help out, please help one of our family and one of the family. Nancy, Stephen died, and that was very unfortunate. And obviously, she's been through a lot of. Probably IP is blocked. My IP is blocked. Can I get into? Let me see if I can get into my other account on a different browser. I can get into my other account on a different browser. So I don't know. Because I do have another account. It's just for looking at stuff. But anyway, strange. But please, if we can rally up and help out here, it would be fantastic. Because Nancy's really great, and she's part of our extended family that we've all become now. So, and if you can't give anything, that's totally fine too. Just please send prayers and good stuff her way, because she needs it at this point in time. And so somebody said they sent an email. Let's see. Email. I put the link in. Did I put the link in? Didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, good. I should put it in the description now. Oh my. Okay. Let's see here. Police officer accessed by fake psychologist after complaining, assessed by fake psychologist after complaining of sexual harassment. Constable Kimberly Kage was given a copy, which she alleged is a fraudulent report by Ottawa police. Yes, Ottawa police and RCMP have a good history. This is the inter-policing forces. I read somewhere that something about Surrette de Quebec, and Surrette de Quebec has it, or Surrette de Quebec. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but has a very, very bad reputation for corruption, extremely bad. And Ottawa police is tied up in some of this nonsense too. Actually, in one of the parts of a case that we went through a long time ago. The Ottawa Police Service will launch a criminal investigation after a former officer called for a probe into what appears to be a fraudulent report by someone posing as a psychologist who was assessing her ability to work on patrol. Constable Kimberly Carrette said she was ordered into therapy by OPS managers in 2007 to determine if she was fit for duty after complaining to the chief about sexual harassment and bullying by members of her platoon. Following that complaint, she said, she was told to visit Dr. Ron Frey, a certified psychologist, for weekly sessions at a designated time and location. Her 9-page psychological report bears Frey's electronic signature and is written on his company letterhead. Frey is a psychologist who has worked with the Department of National Defense. And doesn't that sound like, and who else in this story did Department of National Defense and RCMP stuff?
I'm still here. I'm just walking around.
I'm searching back in my memory banks, and they went poof right off the internet fast in this story. I talked about them, and then all of a sudden their website was gone. That has to do with the Millbrook Cigar Hut.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I don't know if those of you who remember have been watching for a long time. There was, what the hell was it called? I can find it here. Very interesting how this all works, you know? Why do we get stuck with this mess? Lloyd Johnson? Anybody remember Lloyd?
Yes, I remember Lloyd.
He finished his cigar.
Right?
Lloyd used to work.
Was he D&D or D&D?
Oh! Whelan Psychological Services.
Oh, yes. Whelan Psychological Services. Right.
And Whelan Psychological Services did the, let's see, everything went poof about that, but let's see if we can find a copy of it. How did I have it before? Maybe I have it saved somewhere else. Whelan Psychological Services does RCMP, and that's back in some earlier, way at the beginning of this story. But
I remember.
I don't know if I can find it now. I don't want to bore everybody while I'm looking, but okay, somebody else that lives up in Camrose. Interesting. Very interesting. Wow. Let's try it. Let's try one other one. I could try this. Okay, here we go. What? What? What's gone? I don't remember the old website address because they destroyed it. Does anybody remember?
Wasn't it on LinkedIn?
No, they got rid of most everything off of there too.
Oh, did they? Oh, hang on. I have to put you on hold a minute. I have a delivery.
Okay. See, the website's gone poof. And then they moved. Everything changed. There we go.
Sorry, I'm coming. Oh, no, you don't know.
Interesting how many times this has been archived for a psychological service. But if you click on any of these, so I'll throw the link in there. If you click on it, let's try. Why has somebody archived it on the 15th? It's a dead website, I believe. So I remember archiving this one. So if you go down, it'll say here, I provide therapy to adults and members of HRM Police Services, Veteran Affairs Canada, Department of National Defence, and RCMP Health Services. And that happens to be connected to our buddy, where's that? What? Is somebody playing with a recorder? Lloyd. Why? I don't know. Seems like a strange connection. Anyway, sorry to venture off topic. We'll go back to that article there. Just another interesting thing to note. Ottawa police, she was ordered to therapy by OPS manager 2007. Following the complaint, she said she was told to visit Dr. Robert Frey, certified psychologist, for weekly sessions at a designated time and location. Her 9-page psychological report bears Frey's electronic signature. Sorry, I'm reading backwards again. Frey, however, said in an interview that he did not write the report. Staff working with the OPS wellness program had known about the possible fraud for 8 months, but there was no apparent move toward an investigation until CBC made inquiries. In order to verify, the same wing of the same government is asking to investigate. Strange. In order to verify details, CBC News arranged for the therapist and the officer to meet in person. In an astonishing moment captured on video, both Carteret and Frey denied ever meeting face-to-face until then. I don't even know what to say right now. It's ruined me, Carteret said, as she burst into tears upon realizing the man in front of her was not the therapist who had treated her 14 years earlier. Perhaps we should watch that.
It's been a long time.
Do you recognize Dr. Frey?
No. Nice to meet you.
Definitely not you. Do I look familiar? I appreciate you taking time to do this, and I'm sorry that you've been dragged into this.
It's honestly, I can't imagine what you're going through. I don't know what to say. I really feel for you. I can't imagine.
Can I ask you a stupid question?
Sure.
Do you ever have a minivan?
No.
Never in your life?
No.
That's what you were driving when you used to come meet me.
A minivan?
Yeah.
I never had a minivan.
Never, eh?
I'm sorry.
Wow, that would be
How
deeply.
fucked is that?
Yeah, that would be really, really disconcerting. Maybe I'll see if I can find the clip of Weber. Weber's an interesting guy, Dr. Weber out in BC, and his offices have been broken into and files have been stolen. He used to be an RCMP member. You see, and this is the thing. There's all of this real, true 100% verifiable sexual harassment, rape that's been going on for decades within the RCMP, that's cost people's lives, literally cost women their lives. And yet, for some reason, we seem hyper-focused on what's going down with the conflict of, what is it? The future judge may have to recuse themselves from the upcoming case with Lisa Banfield, who we don't know anything about. Also heard that her brother-in-law has also put off his case now until 2022 or 23. This is getting absurd. When there is verifiable things that have been going on to women for a long time, why is not the RCMP focusing on that, whether it be civilians or people within their own organization? Why are these women's groups going after people who are essentially defending somebody who is currently on trial for a misdemeanor crime that possibly could be elevated to very serious charges, as in participating and or complicity in murder times 23. None of these women have done any of that. You do actually have women who have killed themselves because they were not believed, raped by the force, covered up. You got oh boy, I mean, there's so many. Christy Carley, terrible. And Galliford, who's married to Campbell. The Jenga is really going to start to fall. After a year and a half with the Ottawa Police Service, Carteret transferred to Peel Regional Police 2008. She still works for the Force Greater Toronto Area. Carteret believes details OPS fraudulent report leaked out, tainting her career. Oh, that sounds like Weber. Weber talks a lot about that. These are sticks that they use to hold over members' heads. It's gross, man. You don't do this to people. Beat them with their privacy, things that they say in confidence. We're 2021, and this happened in 2007. And to this day, I'm still referred to at work as crazy and can't be trusted. So this has never left me. Nice way. You're getting blackballed. And to go day after day after day after day, 14 years of this. Carteret wants Ottawa police to find the imposter. The OPS said it was made aware last November of potential fraud involving the use of the name of a doctor participating in their wellness program. Initially, the force had said there was no criminal investigation underway, but reversed its course after CBC sent an email to Chief Peter Slowly on Tuesday, inquiring about the possibility of an internal investigation. Quote, "We take these types of calls very seriously." You know how seriously they take it.
Yeah,
A criminal
right.
investigation will be conducted. Yeah, because they took it so seriously over the past 14 years, right? Then all of a sudden, CBC, who has to tell you some truth and has to do some real good journalism periodically, because if somebody tells you lies all the time, and I'm not saying that they do, but if somebody does, then they'll never be believed.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly true.
You have to have some shreds of credibility. Will be conducted on this matter, and we will be speaking to all parties involved. Media Relations Manager Carol Levine said in an email 2.5 hours after CBC's inquiry to the chief, Carteret called on OPS decision to do a criminal investigation lip service. Why didn't they listen to me 15 years ago? I feel like they're just playing games, she said in an interview Tuesday night. Harassment complaints 2007. New recruit from Amherstburg, outside Windsor, to take on her dream job with the Ottawa Police. "I love working with people. I love community. I love seeing the smiles on people's faces, knowing that I've made a difference," Carteret said as she showed photos of her first year on the job. Carteret had recently broken off a long-term relationship and said she found herself becoming the target of unwanted attention from her male colleagues. In her diary entries from the spring 2007, she wrote about how a staff sergeant told her he wished he wasn't married, and how and at least 4 other officers made comments to her about her physical appearance or inquired about her sex life. She said one constable accused her of having multiple personalities when she spurned his advances. After complaining to Supervisor Carteret, said she was bullied at work and ostracized. Frustrated by a lack of action, Carteret said she walked into the office of the chief at the time, Vern White, without an appointment. "I was upset. I was a mess. I told him everything."
I used to be a really happy-go-lucky person, and now I pretty much keep myself isolated. Other than work, going into work, I keep myself isolated as much as I can. I try to keep friends at a distance so that they don't get hurt. It's broke me.
And it's this kind of stuff. It sometimes, in many cases, and I'm not a woman and I don't know that, but I would say, listening to some comments that some RCMP officers have said, women RCMP officers who have been down the road and were rather trailblazers early on in kind of bringing this all to the forefront, they said it wasn't necessarily what happened to them that hurt them. It was what happened afterwards. All of the, harassment and bugging, and in this lady's case, crazy. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Passing over for promotions. Just bum rushed out. Everybody's ostracizes them, treats them like crap. They get desk duties and terrible jobs. Why is it that we are constantly believing the narrative that is, I would say, provably facilitated and produced by the RCMP and federal government from the word go? And there's lots of details, that will come to light with time. I'm just hoping that, they'll do the right thing, as I always have said. Do the right thing and just come forward and get ahead of this one. You can do it and be responsible, rather than, having your dirty laundry aired, because it will come out. There's definitely lots of dirty laundry I've been accumulating. It's just I keep waiting for people to bring that, step up to the plate. And this running away, retiring stuff is not the way to do things.
I don't expect anyone to run away or to step up to the plate. I definitely anticipate more running. People are not held accountable for anything. They're not held accountable for their actions, for their inactions. It really, for somebody who deals in logic, it's hard to even navigate just the world in general. Just the world in general. Just the lack of ability to use thought. Just to not be able to, and I mean, I'm not accusing anyone of anything I'm not accusing myself of. There's so many times where, you know, I'll say something, I'll do something, and somebody else will later on come back to me and say, you know, dude, what are you thinking? Or what about this? And I didn't even think of it. And logically, I should think of it. I feel like the more I learn, the less I know, but I'm, you know, along the lines of understanding things a little more, and probably the folks in this group are feeling the same thing, but, you know, more along the line than the average person who doesn't seem to understand the things going on. And still, when people point things out to me, I think, holy shit, how did I not see that? So when you see something, you can't hope that someone's going to step up to the plate, because they won't. You have to point it out to them, and you have to hold people accountable. They're not. People don't have to do anything. I mean, as much as you know how I love the Trudeau, I love the guy. You know, when he was accused by that reporter of sexual harassment, I think I can't remember exact his words, but he was like, I am sorry if I made this person feel that way. I didn't experience it the same way. And then he just moved on. It's just funny how some people are held accountable, or some people are made to to answer the questions. I mean, right down to the t-shirt that you're wearing right now, right? I designed it with a few people. I bought them on my credit card, and still I had people saying, where are the profits going? There were no profits. There were losses, I promise. But where is that same question of, you know, the Legacy Foundation? Where do people not ask where their hundreds of thousands of, like, people want to know where my $20 went? Where is that question when it comes to hundreds of thousands of dollars?
I know that people, you know, I'm big on that, where you can lay things out, and I believe that people can put the pieces together for themselves. You just give them the pieces and they'll see it. And people are seeing a lot of this stuff now. They're beginning to figure out, and not that I'm being deprecating on anybody here, but they're beginning to see how the people play together, how they work together, you know, and they're go after certain people. Why would you go after those people? You know, it makes no sense. Why would somebody come after you because you make a shirt that says 23 on it and you make no money?
Yeah.
Hello? But accuse you of something.
Yeah.
When, funnily enough, it seems like this whole process has actually been, you know, partly a cleansing one, right? The Jenga process, taking down the big people. Certain people don't want big people taken down. They got to act on their behalf. That's what they have to do.
And that's true. And they seem to have to take down anyone who's making a difference. Like in your case, I know you've paid money out to do some of these things, to investigate. I know you've talked to your lawyers. I know that you have,
Can we move on?
You know,
Please.
But so why would anybody come after you? It's the same thing. You're my friend, helping me out. That's it. Like, what do you?
I get
don't
lots
get it.
of great support, so I feel okay.
You know what? The support in this group is unbelievable. And there are certain people I can't mention and I won't, but like Kendall, for example, that chick, if I could get her to organize my whole entire life, oh God. Oh,
There's so
the
many
bliss.
people. The list
There's
of
so many people.
people.
There's people I talk to on the phone that nobody would ever know, that people have told me and given me. Right now, I'm taking notes because of somebody who I met in this group who was like, dude, you need to do better. You need to take notes and you need to make better choices. And I was like, thank you. Okay, I'm going to do that. I get advice and support and love and positivity. I mean, the people who I've got to meet face to face and on here and on the phone, it's good. There's way more good in this group than anything else. Sorry, I went off. I apologize.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, and you're absolutely right. And I don't want to go back to like I bounce a lot. That's the thing.
I know.
I know a lot of people have kind of sadly learned to adjust to how my mind works, but it's a different way. But Bergerman, and the reason that Galliford's testimony was suppressed against the RCMP, because she never got the ability to, was because certain evidence came to light in support of Mr. Bergerman that helped Mr. Bergerman, right? Galliford gets called crazy. How does that happen? Might it be some things that her ex-husband might have known?
Right, or like
the CBC article. Sorry.
Okay, well, and I mean, if that is true, like what Apple Capital was saying, if she saw the wrong, can you imagine how much worse it would be that your police department sent you to what you're expecting and assuming is a legitimate psychologist to help you deal with this, and you find out the dude's not even a doctor? Like, holy shit. That's I'm assaulted at work. I'm being verbally and having all these other people call me crazy and this and that. Now I go to talk to someone about it. It's not even a real professional.
It's not even a real professional. Let me see if I can find Weber.
Oh
Weber,
my God.
I've got
if that doesn't drive you right around the fucking bend, what would? Right? And then they have the nerve to call you crazy and discredit you? Oh my God.
There's some...
I wonder if other people are losing. Like, I was raised to have respect for authority. My family, I have Navy, military people all the way through my family. And that's how I was raised. You see a uniform and you show respect, and that's just the way it is. So, I mean, I had the standing back and seeing things with the broad strokes and not getting it. But this, for me, has brought, if I had to deal with losing 3 members of my family without the rest of this, it would have been a whole different thing. But it feels like this that we believe in is just crumbled, and I didn't notice it was happening. I'm finding a really hard time with that.
This has been happening all around us for a long time.
Yeah. And that's the problem, right? Is when you start looking back and going, oh my God, we're so far down that path that all you can do is, I don't know what you can do. You just have to be like, holy shit, it changes the way that you are. It's something, on your foundation. For me anyway, maybe other people don't think that, but for me it was a foundational crumbling of something that was part of my belief system, right? It would be like somebody saying there's no God. Well, now I have to reevaluate everything.
But
not that I'm saying that. I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean? It was shaking at the core to realize that these folks are not here for our protection.
No.
It does something to you anyway, to me anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to find the Weber story, because the Weber stories, he's been around a bunch, and he treats members who have he was a former member for a long time, Dr. Weber, from Denman Island, BC, and
I know where that is.
Yes, Denman. Interesting. And even in the, I think it was a 16:9 special. I wish I could find it right now. He speaks. They're doing a story about it, about how the information is being used against members, and this. I think they have 2 or 3 officers that are featured. Anyways, during the interview, like they followed them around for a little while. They got pulled over and harassed by a supervisor of the RCMP. They were no longer members. And it was literally all on camera. And they were searching their vehicle illegally when they were away from it. Like, this is the kind of thing that goes on. And it's caught on camera, and they're like, what are you doing in our car? You know?
Yeah.
And he's a supervisor. Just like Dr. Weber's files. But you see, these are or this lady saying that, you know, the psychologist that she was supposed to meet with wasn't even the psychologist. Somebody had impersonated him.
Yeah. Can
you know, how convenient. What a remarkable coincidence.
And
right?
try to locate that person. Imagine. He's using the name of a real doctor. Try to find him.
They don't have to. Don't worry about it. Oh, but we just got the memo. We better do something about it now. We take it very seriously. Very seriously. How seriously? How seriously? You know, it's just such an intricate spider web. I don't know. I just wish a lot of times that I could take what I've learned and share it, because I can't. You know, it would take me whatever it is now, a year and a half, or you know, not quite a year and a half, at least on this case, right? Of information to share. That is like atrocious amounts if you think about it. Whatever it is, 7.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Terabytes a month I'm doing. Sorry?
Should we like start taking bets now to see who's going to retire next or who's going to opt out?
Oh, there'll be more. There'll be more.
Oh,
for sure.
yeah, but just for the fun of it, like we should make a list of all the people who we think are going to be opting out here, you know, PDQ, and cross them off as they go. How fun would that be? You can make a game of it.
I mean, Ottawa Police Services was, I believe they were the ones, I know I talked about that story before. Police Services were the ones that did the investigating into the all of the pension fraud done by white shirts.
Yes, the more Morneau and Chappelle. Is it Chappelle Morneau? Morneau Chappelle? Yeah.
So it's just this intricate web. Or Stenhouse, who came out and said, listen, our motorcycle operations are Bob Stenhouse. And he gave an interview, and immediately that was it. His career was done, because he said, the investigations that we conduct aren't really necessarily about putting a dent in organized crime, motorcycle crime. It's more about just how can we get money.
That's right. It's all about funding.
Build a bigger bureaucracy. So he said that.
Right.
And the Ottawa chief of police was the one who railroaded him publicly, just like Janice Gray. Janice Gray, I think, is going to be another one you're going to see fall, I suspect, in this story. There are going to be a bunch that go, but it's such an old story, because the corruption, or what is perceived to be at least the corruption, continues to carry on. It does not stop. And nobody sits back and says, listen, we've had enough now. Because the problem sorry?
Well, who would stop it? Because the corruption goes right to the very tippy top. There's nobody who can stop the corruption.
We can.
Nobody's willing to, because they all have some.
For fuck's sake, man. Anybody works for me like that, they're fired. Right. You want to get out of line like that at all? Like, you're washing toilets somewhere else, not for me. Yeah. You know?
But those people don't get hired at the top level, right? We all know how it works.
But if you can show the golden parachutes and how they go from service members, enlisted members in the RCMP, and then go into civilian jobs for the RCMP. You can show this repeatedly, and more people become aware of it. It becomes the corruption is exposed, and then the cover up of that. Because rather than stopping it and saying we're going to do the right thing and stop that, instead of doing that, they do the exact opposite, which is, how can we carry this on and delude, lie, deceive, subvert, in this case. A lot of subversion going on in this case, massive amounts of subversion, and those people have their consciences and will have to live in those neighborhoods with people, because they eventually will be found out. And when they're found out, I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. None of these people. None of them.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think I might be more black-pilled than you are.
Well, I still have hope, right? Because obviously there's hope. We're making a difference. We've made a difference. It's demonstrable by this point in time. There is a,
you know what, that's true. Yep, you're right. You're right. You can see by their actions.
You can show it in videos. You know, God knows, I'd love to be able to scan all of my videos for text and then just have a searchable data bank, because it's really interesting when you search it and then you find where it comes. You know, it's true. And it's not important about who, it's just about, does then that lend some credibility to what a person says? If they've been kind of saying something for a while.
You've been right all along, and you've been saying this stuff all the way along. You think at some point people would be like, maybe we pay better attention to this guy.
And I'm not just one person, right? I am just the face of many, many people. And it is like people like in the background, people would be amazed about, you guys are obviously fantastic. The Discord is fantastic. The families are fantastic. But there are people who are in really positions that they take a lot of risk and they spend a lot of time,
Yeah.
and they just want the best for you. I know one person, they're always like, you have to remind people that why is this that this even came to be? You know, how did you come to this story? Well, I came here because of Tara. It's you. We're all here because of you, right?
But there is only a here because of you.
No.
So I would say that
a lot of
if you
different
were to remove, but if you were to remove either of us, none of this would be able to go, right? I could be here and it would still have happened to me. But if I didn't have the connection to you and back, you know what I mean? If
And I
either
didn't
of
have
us,
connection to lots of great people. Come on.
right,
It's just the way that
right,
it all fits, right? There's
it's true.
nobody
And
who is
that's
a
how I
poor person.
know when I go through periods where I'm like, why the hell am I doing this? It's like, you can clearly see that this was not an accident. There's a reason that we have a group of people who are gathering in order that we can make a difference. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Amen.
Yeah. And I'm not ashamed of it. I know lots of people that scares the hell out of people, or they tune out as soon as you say that. But, you know, at the same time, that's what it says, right? You will be tried to the point that you are supposed to deny. I will never fucking deny. Just like I won't quit fighting. And none of these people are going to quit fighting. I know that there'll be the people also who won't quit fighting. I hope that they do, though, because it's conscience. It's going to happen to them. My mom said that to me once when I talked to her a long time ago about some stuff that I'd become aware of. And she's like, no, that's never going to affect me. I'm old. I'm retired. I'm a lawyer. I'm retired. How could this affect me? And sure enough, it did. Terrorism affected her all the way from London Bridge. Boom. And, you know, she is old. How should it have affected her? But it does, because that's the way, just like we're all brought together, right? These things will affect people who are partaking on the wrong side of things. It's going to affect them too, because we're all part of the same family.
Well, we're all part of the same earth, right? We are all contributing energy. And if we're contributing bad energy, that's just bad energy. Doesn't help anybody.
I do hope that family members, I like to always make sure that they know that there's always a place that they can talk. They can talk confidentially. Because there's always many ways to skin a cat. Many ways. You can tell somebody something, and it doesn't have to lead back to not just family members or people in the community or whatever. You can find other ways. I found other ways. I like doing that. Then you can get the truth out. It doesn't lead back to somebody necessarily. Could be any of us, right? Absolutely, Julia. Could be. Could be. Could be kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, brothers, right?
That's it. If we don't deal with it, the next people have to deal with it. These kind of things aren't going to stop.
And it only gets worse because by silence, we say that this is okay. We condone this.
And you know
behavior.
who else we really need? It just came to me that, and I'm sure you've said it, and I know, and I'm sure, I don't know, but I'm sure that we have people probably who, whether they've said anything to you or to me or to nobody at all, the people that I feel like we could really help are a lot of those good officers. You know, these people who are, I have a friend whose son-in-law is into the RCMP, and he's a good person.
Yep.
And, you know, it's going to be people like him who are going to help from the inside. You know, there's people who I'm sure they can't say anything publicly because they would lose their job or their credibility or whatever it is. But those are the people we want as much as anybody else to come forth and talk about what they know, because that sucks. Can you imagine if you joined the RCMP and then you find out that this place you thought was for the good guys is just as much for the bad guys or more? That's not right.
They're not alone, though. No. Just like, you know, you weren't alone when you picked up that phone, right? And I wasn't alone when I made an appeal for people to help and our friends. And then it just grows and grows and grows. And even though you want to talk about killer hornets.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever, day 4. It's fine. The story won't disappear. No. It won't. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And this time, I think they dropped the ball. But they dropped the ball. No, it's not like they were doing the right thing to begin with. But the gig's up now. You know, and it's just going to keep coming out more and more and more. Just like people in here, well, hey, there's a case right there. And you're saying, I didn't know about that case. I'm not going to know about it. The more collectively we learn and the more that we share with one another, the stronger we grow. Anyway. I'm not getting bit anymore.
Well, that's good.
Oh, I don't know. There's so many things to say. But I think on this one, it's just, where's the prop? Where did the prop go? There it is. Maybe it's just a retirement. Maybe everything is just fine. Or maybe it's a little bit more Jenga. But the strategy behind it, if there is strategy behind it, is fairly transparent. I do hope that I see them in front of that commission telling the truth. But again, it's a commission, not necessarily an inquiry. And if you want to hide behind Privacy and Health Act and all kinds of other acts so that you don't have to tell the truth, this is a bit of a, but again, everybody knows. Everybody at least here knows, and they know that other people talk to other people. You're awful quiet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I told you I was going to be, because I have too many things and I'm not going to say anything. Too much.
Okay. Well, maybe on that note, we can call it a day.
All right. Well, thank you for making sure that we all know what's going on, and that you, it's that thing when you tell somebody something and you tell them and they dismiss you, they don't pay attention, and then a few months later they come to you with the same information, although it's fucking news, and they want you to be excited that they brought it to you when you're already past that point. You know what I mean? It's got to be frustrating, and it is frustrating. This is stuff that's been talked about a long time ago. Why is it now news?
Just different stages in the game, right? I mean, I get schooled.
We all do.
There's one person in particular who does a lot of schooling of me, and I'm like, okay, hold on a second here. I was talking with them, and I said, you got to slow down. Like, I can't absorb all of what you're saying. Yeah, but I got this, I got this, I got this. And I'm like, oh, no. I'm still stuck at stage 1 and you're already at Mach 50.
And you know what? That's why we all need to do exactly what you're doing. But yeah, I'm not going to yabber on anymore.
We are collectively. Anyway, I do hope that people can help out Nancy, because she's got some other things going on in her life right now, which I won't talk about, but if she wants to talk about that at some point, that's fine. But do know, you know, you guys are all part of that family too. The ones that are playing for the right team. You guys are all part of it too.
That's it. We have created a brand new family unit.
You guys have problems, you know. I want to try and be here. Tara wants to be here. We're all here for each other. That's the way it's going to be. Anyway. All right. Well, do take good care of yourself. I'm sorry if I upset you earlier. I didn't mean to.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm sorry. I'm many things going around in my head, and that's all. You never upset me, ever.
Really?
You can try. You'll have to try harder. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to take advantage of that.
I'm a sissy in some ways, but it takes a lot to actually upset me and offend me.
Oh yeah, but you got a heart of gold. You really do. You know, you've helped me out so much over the years. I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have good friends.
Yep. Aren't we all lucky to have good friends? And you know, not too many friends would do what you're doing. So right back at you.
Oh, balls. Look, everybody here. Right?
Did I know any of them before this?
No, did I? You know,
right. You know what?
I went for pizza last night.
Nice.
And yeah, it was good. I went out with a friend. I don't do a ton anymore, but I went out for pizza with a friend and just talked about some things. He's not having the easiest time either. And so we went for pizza, and it was a Donair pizza. But they had Donair pizza, and this pizza joint doesn't have Donair pizza, so it was a special. And I was like, Donair pizza. Let me see here. So then I asked I was like, well, can you make it Halifax style? She's like, I'm like, can you put some pepperoni on there? Do you have some Brothers pepperoni? She's like, no, we don't have that, but we do have pepperoni. So I was like, okay, make it Halifax style. Maybe you can put that up on the chalkboard. I don't know if they did, but and then I said, do you have brown sauce? I've been told about the brown sauce. I haven't had it yet. You know brown sauce?
I don't know what that is. Nope.
Pictou County sauce, Pictou sauce, Sam's. I think it's Sam's. Is that right? Is anybody in here? Pictou? No, Sam's.
When I get it, there's I get a Donair sub, and there's this like white, creamy, sweet kind of sauce that comes with it, and I love it. And now that you said that, that's what I'm gonna go get.
Damn you!
Yeah.
The Donair. I love the Donair.
Well, then fucking come here. The gates are open. We're allowed to play with our friends again.
Sam's in Stellarton. I think that's it. The brown sauce, the spicy brown sauce. Is that it, Trish? Yeah. Is that it? Okay, I got it. See?
Nice.
I can't say any names properly, but you know.
That's okay.
Maybe
because that's another thing to laugh at.
The way to a man's stomach or heart is the stomach, right? Bang, bang. Anyway, all right. Take good care, everybody. God bless all of you. Thank you ever so much again, as always, to the Discord and all of your hard work. Thank you to our unsung heroes who are working so tirelessly away in the background, and all of your tips and advice, which of course that you can send anytime. And as always, much love to you also, Tara.
Thank you, and to you, and thank you for everyone who's here and never gives up. God bless you and your family.
God bless you all.
Bye.